Om ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, everybody. Last time we are studying chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita, and last time we started with part of the verse 14, shloka 14, and there he says, Satatam kirtayanto mam. So I told you that Satatam kirtana, which is physically, if you go, it is like keeping on singing bhajans 24/7, which is not possible. So where a jnani is concerned, then Satatam kirtayanto would be him thinking of the self in him as the self in all, like the oneness with the self. That is what he's thinking of. Satatam kirta is not that he's saying anything, but he knows that the self in self, Jiva Brahma Aikya is there. And then for him, Yatatancha Dradavata. So he is then trying to see the self in him as the self in all. That is what he would constantly do. And Namastan says, so surrender to the Lord. In the sense, he is already surrendered because he's one with the Lord. In bhakti, this Satatam Kirtayanto Mam would be saying that I am the fallen, Patita, Main Patita tu Pavana. So you are the protector and I am, because in bhakti, the bhakta is maintaining a duality. He thinks Bhagwan is separate from him, but he's saying, I have surrendered to you. I am incapable of doing anything. So you are the one that will help me out. And that would be Satatam Kirtayanto, the thought that I am under your protection. That becomes Satatam Kirtayanto. For a karma yogi, Satatam Kirtayanto would be service of the people, because he knows that the creation is none other than the creator. The creation has come from the creator, so I should serve the creation, and that would be Satatam Kirtayanto. And for a Hatha yogi, it would be conquering the gunas, because Chitta Vritti Nirodha is Hatha Yoga. So constantly trying to withdraw the mind from outside objects, from the world. And because there is only world and there is God, so when he withdraws his mind from the world, then there is no other place for that mind to go. So that would be Hatha Yoga. Then Bhagwan said that various people worship me in various ways. So jnana yajnena cha api anne yajanto. There are some who do jnana yajna. Jnana yajna, that when we do, what it is there are four things. There is, in jnana, you're only engaged in knowing about the supreme reality. That is jnana. Jnana doesn't have any action. It is only at the level of the mind intellect. So all what you want to do is to know the Lord. Then you, other than knowing Paramatma, there is nothing else. That is the thought, that other than Paramatma, there is nothing else, because this entire world. And then the third would be trying to find the divine presence in all. So the self in me is the self in all. That would be his pursuit. And this pursuit is nothing, he cannot go to every human being and look. There is no physical pursuit, just a mental one. So that is what Jnana Yajna includes. And then to see one in the multitude and to see the multitude in the one. So one in the multitude means what? He's seeing many, many things, but then he's trying to see the substratum of all, which is the existence principle, consciousness principle. So his attention is only on the essence of what he's seeing, not the multitude itself, but the essence of them all. That is what it is. And seeing the multitude in one, this is what we'll see in the next chapter, in chapter 11, actually the one afterwards, is the Virat Roop, where Bhagwan shows his entire one form, and in that form, everything is happening. So that is the Jnana Yajna. But then there are some others who worship him Ekatvena. Ekatvena means knowing that there is no difference between me and the Lord. That is Ekatvena. Prathakttvena is like thinking that Lord is different. Thinking means not incorrect thinking, bhakti. A prathakttvena is bhakti. So that is one way. And then bahuda is to see manyness, but then because there is manyness, but this manyness is created by the Lord himself. So karma yoga. So either ekatvena, it can be these three words, ekatvena, prathakttvena, and bahuda, vishwatomukham. So everywhere I am there. Vishwatomukha means I'm facing everywhere. That is what. And some people worship me as being one with me. So ekatvena. Some people worship me through bhakti, saying, okay, he's the Lord and I am surrendered to him. I have my faith in him. And then seeing him in the multitude, I need to serve him. So service itself becomes a worship. Like in that Kirtayanto, in the previous verse, we saw for a karma yogi, what is this constant kirtana? Is constant seva. Kirtana is, if you take the literal meaning of kirtan, it is bhajan, chanting the name of the Lord, saying the name. But for a karma yogi, he'll say, what? This is what, just sit and he won't, because he's Rajasic. So he wants to do something. So he will go serve the people. Or you can take Ekatvena as Advaita Vedanta, so oneness. Prathakttvena is part, so Vishishta Advaita, and Bahuda then becomes Dvaita. So it's in any which way you can take. Bhagwan is saying they worship, even Vishishta Advaita, they're saying it's, I'm a part of God. In duality, Dvaita, they're saying I'm a child of God. So there is a recognition of God in that. And that itself becomes a worship, a prayer. Okay, then next was Aham Kratuhu Aham Yajnaha. I told you this is very similar to verse 24 of chapter 4, where he says, I am the doer, means I am the Yajna, I am the oblations, I am the ghee, I am basically the underlying meaning of this verse. Aham Agnihi. I am only the Agni. So I am everything, like Brahmarpanam, food I told you. Food is Bhagwan. The hand which is eating is Bhagwan. The chewing that is going on is done by Bhagwan. And then when the food goes inside the stomach, then Bhagwan is only digesting it. And here the same idea is repeated. Everything is me alone. That is what is to be understood here. Okay, and then next, Pita Aham. Now he said, I am the father of the world, I am the mother of the world, I am the sustainer, Dhata, and I am the Pitamaha, grandfather. The reason he says grandfather is for us to understand that he is causeless. Because we'll say, oh, normal parlance, okay, I am a product of my father, then father came from grandfather, then great-grand, and you can go on like that. But you need to stop. With Bhagwan, you need to stop. There is no going further. That's why he says, I'm father, grandfather, everything. I am only there. Mata, I told you, when he says Pita and Mata is Prakriti, the one who creates, and he plants the seed, planting the seed, not like our ordinary planting, sperm into the womb, not like that, but empowering Prakriti. So by empowering Prakriti, by permitting him to create, she can create because she has got the three gunas. And then Vedyam Pavitram Omkaram, that is the only thing to be known. I am only the Omkara and I am only the Vedas. So he's reiterating, he's telling constantly, it is all me and there is nothing else other than me. Then Gati Bharta, Prabhu Sakshi, these are all his words. So Gati I told you is the result in the next life. Phala is a karma phala, is result in this life. There are some results that we see in this life itself, but then there are some results that we have to experience in our future births. That is what is happening right now. Sometimes we say, oh, how come this thing happened to me? I did nothing like this. I did nothing wrong. You know, most common is we go through and we have an accident and there's actually no fault of us. We were doing nothing. We were maybe just stopped at some stops and somebody came and hit me from the back. So that is coming from the past. That is how it is to be understood, that I did nothing right now. And then sometimes it will be our mistake. Then it's, oh, I did. And you got that result right away. You made a mistake, immediately the accident happened, you got the result. Or sometimes it is absolutely none of your fault, not your fault at all, but it happens. So there are certain things we get, and then we say, why did this happen to me? How did it happen to me? That is because of this is what gati is. He's the giver, karma phala data he is. That is to be understood, but we have to understand that this karma phala data, giver of the results of action, is not random. It is depending on what we have done. Whatever we write in the exam paper, we get marks according to that only. So understand that whatever we got, we have written that somewhere in the past, this thing. Bharta, he is the one that is protecting. Prabhu, Lord, Sakshi, when within the body, when the body, mind, intellect are given reality, the same Paramatma, same Lord is called as Sakshi, because there is something to be witnessed. So Sakshi word is used when the body, mind, and intellect are given reality. Nivasa, abode, he's the final abode. Sharanam, so he is the one that we have to surrender to. Surata, he's our friend. I told you, friend is one who is a well-wisher. We must not understand friend as, or God as a wish fulfiller. That means whatever I wish, he will give. No, he will give whatever I deserve and not what I desire. Prabha, from whom everything comes. Pralaya, everything goes back into him. Sthanam, sustenance. Nidhanam and Bijam. I told you this. Nidhanam again, abode. He's the final abode, final refuge. And the potentiality in the seed. So when he says, I'm the imperishable seed, seed by itself is perishable. As we see, we plant a seed, it perishes. You cannot find that seed once the sprout comes, when the plant comes out. But when he says, I'm the imperishable, means the potentiality in that means he is empowering Prakriti, right? So he is that potentiality in the seed to give, and that is imperishable. So he is imperishable. All right, that is what he said. Now we were there, we have to see this. Same idea is continuing, that everything is me alone. That same idea is continued here. Tapamyahamaham varsham nigrunamyutsrujami cha amrutam chaiva mrutyuscha sadasacharham arjuna. As sun, I give heat. I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and also death, both existence and non-existence, O Arjuna. So again, once again, the same idea continuing. Aham tapami aham. The break of these, if we just break this, it is very, very easy. Tapami aham varsham, nigrunami utsrujami cha. Cha is and, the cha always comes at the end. Amrutam cha eva mrutyuhu cha sat asat aham Arjuna. There is a break. Okay. So tapami aham means aham tapami, means I am. Tapa is what? Heat here. Heat. So how do we get heat? Natural source of heat is sun. So I am the heat behind the sun. That's the same idea he will say in chapter 15 again. That's why, we say sun is giving us heat, but who is giving the sun the heat to give it to us is God. That is what he's saying here. So I am the heat behind the sun. If you're getting heat from the sun, that heat is because of me. Aham varsham, varsha, rain. I am the one that is the cause of the rain. If we see what is happening with the rain phenomena, the sun is evaporating the waters of the ocean and they are rising up, and then the clouds, they're condensing, clouds are formed, and that same water is coming down as pure water, right? Rain. So if he is only the heat behind the sun, then who is causing the rain? It's the heat in the sun that is evaporating. Heat, he said, I am heat. That means rain is him only, no? Without him, the rain cannot happen. Without that heat, rain cannot happen. Unless the waters evaporate, rain cannot happen. And this rain, nigranam utsrajami cha. So utsrajami is bring forth rain, and nigranam is to withdraw. So both he says I can do, because I'm the heat. If I withdraw my heat, then rain will be withdrawn. If I give, so rain comes and goes because of me. Means every idea is everything is happening because of me. If I, chapter 15 again, he'll say memory is because of me, forgetfulness is because of me. Everything is happening because of me. Understand it this way. Unless that conscious principle is there, can anything happen? Can I speak unless the conscious principle is within me? So basic thing is the conscious principle. That is what he's, enforced here, telling Arjun. Amritam, immortality is me. I'm the only immortal, entity here. Everything is perishing. Everything. As we speak, things are getting old, body is getting old, cells are dying, cells are this thing, as we speak. So he's cha eva mrityu. I am only death. I am the death. Means I am beyond. Death is happening because of me, and death, there is nothing like death, right? The death that you see of the mortal beings is because of me, and everything is then coming back to me, because he already said pralaya. Everything goes back into him. Death. Cha. Sat, asat, aham Arjun. I am sat and I am, this is the main word here to be understood. What does he mean? I am sat. I am sat, and okay, you're sat. That means you're not asat. No, I am asat also. Now that is contradictory. Amritam mrityu also, but that we can understand. Mrityu is only to the body. But here, if he says I am Sat, and we have the description of pure consciousness as Satchit Ananda, then you're Sat, then again you're Asat also. Then how does that work? So this Sat that we see, existence principle, should not be understood as a pair of opposite. See, the world is pair of opposites. Okay. So there is light, there is dark, there is cold, there is heat, joy, sorrow, happiness, unhappiness. So in the world, we see existence and we see non-existence, right? So we see body, chapter, which one? 2. Chapter 2, Bhagavan says that the body is unmanifest at one point, and then it becomes manifest, and then it becomes unmanifest again. So what is there to cry? That's what he's telling Arjun. So we see existence, non-existence of a body, and then it comes into existence, and then it goes into non-existence. Objects also. We buy something and then it goes. So that type of existence is not what is meant by Sat. Because if that type of existence is meant, if it is meant, then it is opposed to non-existence. So that Sat is opposite of Asat. Manifest and unmanifest. That is what manifest is Sat and unmanifest is Asat. And manifest and unmanifest are opposed to each other. By saying that I am neither manifest nor am I unmanifest, what he's hinting is I am beyond both. And I am the one because of which manifestation can be experienced as well as unmanifestation can be experienced. So the presence, manifestation is presence. That is this Sat, this word Sat is referring to that presence. And then Asat is referring to the absence. So this both I am not means both I am the one that is illumining. So you cannot call me Sat, because people might think that I am opposed to Asat. I am opposed to none. Nothing am I opposed to. That is what is to be understood here. I am not opposed to birth and I'm not opposed to death either. I am beyond birth and death. I am beyond all pairs of opposites. I am not joy, but I am not sorrow either. Are you sorrow? No, I am not sorrow either. I am neither. I am the one that is illumining both joy and sorrow. This part is the main point in that Sat. The word Sat, existence, should not be understood as an absence of non-existence. what will existence or manifestation or presence, what do we say? The computer is present means it is not present. Present, not present is opposing to each other. By saying I'm neither Sat nor Asat, O Arjuna, he's saying I'm beyond both. So understand me like that. That is my transcendental nature. In these verses, he is explaining his transactional as well as, means by saying that I am the fire and I am the doer and I am the this, those are the things that we're seeing in the world. Okay. So that is transactional. So like it's like saying this computer is, it is him, book is him, mouse is him, mouse pad is him. This is what, yadna, this is an yadna going on. I am also him only, speech is also him. So this is the transactional world. In the transactional world, when you see all these different things, that is none, understand that to be me alone. This is the same idea as when he said, they are dependent on me, I am not dependent on them. But not only that, we have to understand him as being the transactional world, we need to also understand his transcendental nature. And that's why now he's saying, I am neither Sat nor Asat. Please understand that. Because if see, what happens is, if he's in everything, that means he's Sat, then he's not Asat. That should not be a mistake. So both standpoints have to be understood. One is from the standpoint of the world. What I see, the world is him. Then is that only him? No, there is another higher nature of his. And that's what it said in chapter 7. There is para, apara, and then turiya. That's what he's again saying. That is to tell us, to make sure that, we understand. The next two verses, 20 and 21, we'll read them together because they are this thing. They are referring to people, the karma kandins. Okay, and this is similar to in chapter 2. Is it chapter 2? Yeah, chapter 2, verse 45. Okay, so I'll tell you that. That is, these two verses are related to that verse. That is the seed of these two verses. I've told you chapter 2 has got all the seeds of all the other chapters. So these two verses are coming from that seed, verse 45. त्रैवेद्या मां सोमपापूतपापा यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं काम कामा लभन्ते. The knowers of the three Vedas, the drinkers of Soma, purified from sin, worshipping me by sacrifices, pray for the way to heaven. They reach the holy world of the Lord of the gods and enjoy in heaven the divine pleasures of the gods. They, having enjoyed the vast heaven world, when their merits are exhausted, enter the world of the mortals, thus abiding by the injunctions of the three Vedas, desiring objects of desires, they attain to the state of going and returning, samsara. In verse 45 of chapter 2, he advised Arjuna, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. That is the instruction he had given Arjuna. Now we understand why he told that to her. What did it say? Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha means the Vedas, their Vishaya, their subject is to do all these karmas and fulfill the wishes, desires that everybody has. The Karmakanda portion is the largest in the Vedas because there are large number of people with a very huge amount of desires, and all those desires, if it has to be fulfilled, they need a whole lot of karmas. But there only Bhagavan told Arjun, you don't become one of those people who is only living life to fulfill desires. Nistraigunyo bhava Arjuna. Bhava Arjuna. Arjuna, Oh Arjuna, become nistray good means go beyond the gunas, because this karma kanda portion, it is where is karma coming from? Action, interaction of the gunas. That's why he says you rise above the three gunas, because if you keep staying in these three gunas, it is only going to be action, result, action, result, action, result, because that action is going to give a result, and that result is going to produce more desires. So to fulfill those desires, you're going to do action again. You're going to go round and round in the cycle of birth and death. So he said, you rise above. And now here he's giving Traividya mam somapa puta papaha. Traividya. Traividya is what? Traividya is the three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Trai is three. So these gunas are the ones that are told in the Vedas, the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas, because the Upanishadic portion, the knowledge portion is going beyond the gunas. So these three there, and the people, the Putapapa, those people who have these vasanas are what are they doing? They're creating desires in the mind. They have desires in the mind. So these karma kandins, they go on doing karmas, okay, for the fulfillment of desire. Huh? So material world or highest is heavens. In Kathopanishad, Nachiketas asks Lord Yama, my father wants to go to heaven. So what yajna should he do? Tell me the Agnihotra karma, the details. And Lord Yama tells him, this is what is to be done. Then after death, that person will go to heaven. If your father wants to go to heaven, that's fine. And in chapter 2, Bhagavan told Arjun, you follow your duty. You don't have to do Agni. We don't have, because we'll say, oh God, I want to go to heaven, but I don't know how to. No, if we just follow our own duty, we'll reach heaven. That's a shoo-in. That's a promise that Bhagavan has given. So here what he says is, they are prarthayante swargante, for the heavens they're doing. Means heavens, one heaven is of course after death, but even in this life, when we want more and more comforts, more money, for happiness, for comfortable life, for a higher, whatever standard of living or whatever, that is heaven only now. So person who doesn't have any food, even to have 2 meals a day, it would be like heaven for him. So heaven is a place of happiness. That is how it should be taken. So it can be either after death or it can be in this life also. Te punyama sadhya surendra loka. They will, Surendra is Indra. So Indra is the king of the heavens. So this loka of Indra is heavens, Swarga. They will reach. And they drink this soma, that is the part in the rituals. In the rituals, when the karma kanda portion, when the yajnas are given, all details are given. So many silver pots to use, all gold pots to use, milk is to be used, or water from all the rivers, Ganga, 5 rivers, holy rivers has to be there. All these kinds of instructions are there. And then one of the instructions probably in this, because Swarga is Agnihotra karma is for Swarga, then maybe the doer is supposed to drink the somras, whatever it is. So that's what he's saying here. And then Surendra Loka, and then they do go there. They do go there. That's the thing. If you work hard for something, you will get it. So these people are working for Swargaloka, and yes, they do go there. Divyan Divi Deva Bhogan. And in heavens, it is said, it is only a world of pleasures. There is no sorrow there. Okay, absolutely no sorrow. So they will enjoy this thing. That also is fine. Then what happens is, Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishal. Vishala means it's many, many years. Vishal, big. So if mortal world is 100, maybe that's 1,000 years, whatever. Okay, so we don't know. So Vishal, all full they will enjoy. But then what happens? Then the merits are going down and down and down. I told you in Manache Shlok also, I told you, when happiness comes to us, please be careful. One of your merits is gone. So this is what this is. They had accumulated a lot of merit, because of which they reached the heavens. Now they are enjoying. But enjoyment means what? The merit is going. I've given you this thing. You have a credit card. You have a limit on it. You go for a holiday. You stay. You enjoy. When that limit comes to this thing, you have to come back. Same idea here. So they go, they enjoy, then their merits are reducing. And when they come to zero, now no merit, now you come back, you fall back. And that's why he says, gata gatam, gata agata, means go, come, go, come, go, come. This thing still remains. Kama kama labhante. Kama kama is your desiring desires, means you're desiring objects of desire. And labhante, this is what desiring desires is getting you. The samsara, samsarati iti samsara, that which is moving. So you're going and you're going to come back. There also in chapter 2, Bhagavan said, I don't, Arjun, you will get the heavens just by fighting this war. Heavens are guaranteed for you. But it's a place of return. And I want you to go beyond that. And that's why you do actions with a certain attitude. And that's why Karma Yoga begins there. Okay. So here that 45th verse, Traigunya Vishaya, he's now explaining here that yes, you will do karmas because you have desires. You have desire for the heavens. You have desire for happiness. All of us are desiring happiness only. But I think my happiness is in a big house, spouse, child. That is what if I think, then I'm going to pray for that job, bonus, whatever, better pay. So I'm going to pray for that. I will get that. Ultimate is heavens after gati, afterwards. I will get that also. You will get that. Those who worship, do properly the yajnas, they will get it. But what happens is after they go through that, through those pleasures, they have to come back because their merit quota is finished. Their bank balance is finished of merits, and they come back and then they do it again because those desires are not gone. Kama, right? They're desiring. So they do the same thing again. Same thing happens again. I come back, I again work, I put some credit limit on I pay off my credit card. I'm back on the holiday again. Then I'm coming back. So that is what he's telling here. Okay. The next verse is very important, 22. Because there is a promise here by Bhagwan, which has been often quoted by myself and many other masters. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. To those men who worship me alone. This is as opposed to those who are worshipping all those other deities for other things, thinking of no other. To those ever self-controlled, I secure which is not already possessed, yoga, and preserve what they already possess, kshema. This last quarter is often quoted. Bhagwan has promised. He has promised both yoga and kshema. General meaning of yoga, that which I don't have. Kshema, that which I have. Because maybe I don't have wealth and I get wealth, but that wealth has to be protected. Maybe I don't have health, I get health, then that health needs to be protected as well. It's not just I got wealth, it needs to be, both has to be done. So he's promising both. He's telling Arjun, I will look after what you don't have and what I will protect. You just fight. That's what he's telling Arjun. Now here what he says, there are 4 things here. In the 4 quarters, there are 4. First is ananyascha chintayanto mam. Mam, me. Ananya chinta. Ananya, exclusively thinking of me. That is number 1. Ye janaha paryupasate. Pari upasate. Ye. So these people who are constantly thinking of me, they were paris all around. Upasate, they worship the people. So ye janaha, the world, people. So they constantly then worship the people. So we'll understand this word. Tesham nitya abhiyuktanam. That is the third term. Tesham, they nitya, always, they are joined to me. And then for such people, I will take care of their yoga, that which they don't have, and I will protect that which they have. Okay, so you have to understand these 4 things. Now, same thing, in that verse where, which was that verse? The 14. Satatam kirtayanto, I told you, right? The one who is doing satatam kirtana. Now, what does it mean? Because First thing to be understood here is yoga and kshema cannot be the same for all of us. Yoga is, see, I may not have wealth, but I have health. I may have wealth, but I may not have a child. I may have, a job, but I may not have money. Like, different people will have different needs. That's the idea. I may want health, or somebody else might want wealth, somebody else might want promotion, somebody else might want. So, yoga is that which I don't have. But what I don't have necessarily doesn't mean that everybody doesn't have that. So, Bhagwan will give what I don't have. Maybe I have health and wealth, but I don't have the mental strength to do things alone or to travel alone. Okay. So whatever I don't have, that is the thing. And then once it is given to me, like I said, if wealth is given, child needs to be protected. Whatever I get needs to be protected. Now, these two words will mean different to different types of people. So how many types of people we have? We have only 4 kinds of people. First one, those who are following the path of knowledge. That's the kind of people we have. Jnana Yajna, those who are following. Now, for him, for this person, what does Ananyas Chintayanto Ma mean? The one who is following the path of Jnana, or for him, thinking of the self. Because why? Because what is Jnana telling him? Jnana is telling him that Jiva Brahma Aikya is there. That's what Jnana is telling him. He's a Jnani. So what will he think? He will think about himself, not his ego. Okay, we also think of ourselves only, but that is what we think of our ego. How do I protect my ego and how I don't get hurt and all those kinds of things. That this is jnana. So please understand, this is not an ordinary person. This is jnana. Okay, and then we'll see about us also, where we are ordinary, fifth level, that I am there. So that I will tell you that also. Highest is, so this jnani, the ananyascha chintayanto mam, is the self in me is God, Jiva Brahma Aikya. Okay, now this person, ye janaha pari upasate, worshipping people means what? Thinking that the self in me is the self in all. Not that worship is doing arti to every person that comes to his house, or not, no, nothing like, no action. Jnana has no action at all. It's all in the mind. So in the mind, he knows the self in me is Jiva Brahma Aikya is there. Now, the self in me is the self in all. So that becomes ye janaha pari upasate. Tesham nitya abhiyuktanam. If he knows he's constantly, he is me. Where is the question of joining with me? He's me. He knows that. He's me. Now, for such a person, what will yoga be? Is he going to ask for like money, job, this? No, no. Yoga then becomes deeper and deeper abidance in that thought. In the thought that I am none other than Brahman, that thought has to be deepened, made strong. So yoga becomes that, not money and health. And he's not worried about money. He's not worried about health. He's not worried about job. He's not worried about anything. So yoga for him becomes that. And then kshema is whatever abidance that he has achieved so far, protect that. Kshema becomes protection of that. So that becomes for a jnani. Next one is bhakta. Ananyas chintayanto ma means what? I am constantly thinking of my Ishta Devata. I cannot think of anything else. And I've given you so many examples of saints. Santa Tukaram, constantly thinking of Vittal Bhagwan. That's why I've always told you, we must read the lives of saints. So they're constant, that becomes. Now, ye janaha pari upasate means what for them? Every person that they look at in the world, they think it is my Ishta Devata. Will they ever hurt that person? Will they ever hate that person? Will they ever insult that person? If every person that I look at, if I think it's my Ishta Devata, what other than respect and love and kindness, what else will I have? This upasate, upasana, worship, not that's, 16-step worship has to be done. It's impossible. It's not possible. So Bhagwan cannot tell us something, I've always told you, which is impossible. It cannot. So for a bhakta, pariupasate becomes seeing that Lord in every person, every animal, because every being, he sees Ishtadevata. Tesham nitya abhiyuktanam. He is constantly joined to me because he is constantly thinking of me. He cannot think of anything else. Like I told you the story in the morning of Sant Tukaram, where he was asked to protect the field and he was thinking of Vittal Bhagwan. So all the cows came and ate all the grains. So he is constantly joined with me. Now, for such a person, yoga, and that story here applies. So when all the crops got eaten by the cows, by the time he got fired, the farmer came, he said, what did you do? You've not done your job. You're fired. He comes home, the grain is sitting in the home. Yoga. That which he didn't have, which Santa Tukaram did not have, because no, not only he didn't have, he didn't even protect the crops. Yoga. And then whatever bhakti he has, Kshema, protection. So that bhakti got protected, that faith. See, he was thinking of Bhagwan, Vittal. So he said, Bhagwan will protect me. So by giving him the grain, yoga, he protected his faith. That, yeah, Bhagwan, if I keep thinking of Bhagwan Ananya exclusively, then Bhagwan is going to protect me. Right? So yoga kshema for him, for a bhakta, becomes that. Now, next, karma yoga. Ananyas chintayanto mam, for a karma yogi, what will that be? Action. One thing is he's doing action only for purification of mind. When he does karma as karma yoga, he fulfills the first condition. Ananyas chintayanto mam. Because what he's thinking is, I want to reach that supreme, and for that I need a purified mind, and therefore I must do every karma as karma yoga. Now, ye jana pari upasate means the creation is not different than the creator, and I will only serve the creation. That way, I'm serving the Lord. So in our pledge, the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords. That is the standpoint. This ye janaha pari upasate is fulfilled by a karma yogi by doing that. Therefore, in that pledge, it's a very, very important pledge. The service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords. So what does it mean? That the country is none other than the Lord himself, and I will serve. And that becomes a worship. Worship should not be understood just as, lighting a lamp and then doing things and arti, and that is worship too. But these other things also fall under worship. So for a karma yogi, Tesham Nitya, as long as he keeps doing karma as karma yoga, he's constantly joined with me because he's trying to reach me. And that is why he's doing every karma as karma yoga. So he is joined with me. And for such a person, yoga, what does he not have, a karma yogi? Purity of mind. I will give him that purity. That becomes yoga for a karma yogi. Because he is doing it for purity of mind, I will give it to him. He doesn't have it today, but when he continues to fulfill these, I will give him that purity, and I will also protect that purity, because purity can go away. Purity can go away. Everything can go away. Health can go. Today I am healthy. Tomorrow I may not have health. Today I have money. Tomorrow I may not have money. Whatever that I have can go away. So same way with purity. If I have purity, it can go away. Something, people, as it is, people are telling us why you're doing this thing and why you're listening to these lectures, why you're studying. All these questions are being asked, right? And someday my mind might waver and might think, yeah, really, why am I doing all this? Forget it. So that needs to be protected too. So for a karma yogi, protection of whatever purification that has happened has to be maintained. And so for him, that becomes. Next one, Hatha yogi. What is Hatha yogi doing? Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Chitta vritti nirodha. So for Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, when he is trying to reach that Ekagra Bhumi, there are 7 stages of the mind. Kshipta, Vikshipta, Moodha, Ekagra, Padartha Bhavana, Asambhavana, and Turyaka. These are the 7 stages. So this Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, Ekagra is the complete sattva. sattvic mind. He's trying to reach ekagra bhumi of the mind, a state of the mind which is ekagra, single pointed, maximum sattva. So ananya chintayanto ma means he is trying to constantly reach that ekagra bhumi. That is his goal. Okay. Now, ye janaha pariupasate, for him, then withdrawing from the mind, with rising above the gunas, rising above, that is what he's trying to do. Chitta vritti nirodha, because the gunas are what is playing havoc in the mind. Gunas at the level of the mind, that is what they play. So, when the rajas comes up, then, what should I do? What should I do? Should I do this? Should I call somebody? That is what is happening. Tamas comes, oh, I don't want to do anything. Let me just. So these gunas are playing havoc. Okay. So he's trying to rise above the gunas. That itself becomes a virtue. Means he's not disturbing the world. He's within himself, trying to reach his ekagra bhumi. Tesham nitya bhyuktanam. This ekagra bhumi is trying to join. So this third condition is fulfilled by his efforts, which he is putting to reach that ekagra bhumi. Because after ekagra bhumi comes padartha asambhavana. Padartha asambhavana means the external material world then doesn't matter to him that much at all. So that tesham nityo. Now yoga for him, what is yoga? Yoga is he doesn't have ekagra bhumi. I will make him reach there. I will give it to him. And then I will protect it by taking him further, taking him deeper. Like in Jnana Yoga also, the abidance has to become deeper. Means what? See, knowledge, we have to abide in it. Na? Like I told you, otherwise, if that knowledge, that Om Sahana Bhavatu prayer, Tejasvi knowledge, Tejasvi Nama Aditvat, that knowledge should be bright. What is bright knowledge? Bright knowledge is that knowledge which comes to our mind to the forefront when we are faced with a situation. Otherwise, it is information only. So that for a for a hatha yogi, reaching ekagra becomes yoga. Reaching further also, because now when he reaches ekagra, then again he has to reach the next stage. So that is yoga. I give him that. Then he has to reach the next stage. I will give him that. And whatever stages that he has reached, I will protect. Yoga kshema vahamya. Now for us, in our ordinary life, whatever things that we need. I don't have health, I don't have money, all these mundane things. Pray to him. Pray to him. Even Bhajagovindam this morning we saw, the devotee said, Bhagwan, I don't have the intelligence to study Bhagavad Gita. I don't have the faith to do bhakti. I don't have the strength to do karma yoga. Then Bhagwan Shankaracharya said, okay, then you cry. So we can do that. That we are experts at. So instead of crying for the world, let's cry to Bhagwan and call him on this promise. I have done it. I've said, you said yoga and Shema, now you give me what I don't have and you protect what I have. And he has. So that's all I can say about this. This is his promise. These are his words. But you must have faith. That is we lack. You don't have faith. So sometimes when it happens that, oh, you think. So remind yourselves that see, if you don't have faith, that means he's lying, na? Bhagwan cannot lie. Bhagwan doesn't lie. So if he says, so all these three for us, Ananya means surrender. Ananya chinte tumam, see, surrender. Okay, I cannot handle this situation anymore. Okay, you handle it for me. Because you said, I can't handle. That is yoga now for me. What I cannot handle, even that becomes yoga, right? I cannot handle this situation. I am agitated. I am hurt. Now you handle this and see what happens. And then that peace has to be protected, because you see, you will get peace. You will come to a, to a state of peace, but it could go away at any time, right? It could go away at any time. I could be afraid to do something. Okay, I can have fear. So yoga will be then giving me that courage to do that thing, right? That is yoga. I don't need money. I have money. I don't need health. I have health. But I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid to drive to Langley. I drove to Langley that time. I'm just full time taking name of the Lord only. Because I so many years I've not driven to Langley. It's like, just total boonies for me, right? So I may be afraid to do something. Then tell him, yoga for me is you need to now give me courage. And then you need to protect it because that courage could go away. So yoga and Kshema, you have made the promise. Now you keep it. And ask him with faith, complete faith, and complete surrender of the ego. And see what happens. See for yourself. Because you see, I'm only telling you whether you have faith in me or not I cannot give you faith. I can tell you, but I can't give you faith, na? So one thing you must know is that if he has said it, he has said it. It's not like us, we say and then next day we change our things and change our mind and everything. Okay, we'll stop here for today. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Kshobarahita Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyit Dukha Bhag Bhavet Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.